You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey. What's up, everybody? Come on in, come on in. Come on in. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in. And also, please, also share and subscribe, if you will. Like, share, and subscribe, everyone, especially if you are new over here to the Hood Table channel, where we discuss everything from the hood to the White House and beyond. Please like and share the video. And today we are going to be discussing Sistas Season 2, Episode 14. And the show was called Just For Me. So, if you watched the show, if you caught up with everything, feel free to, put your comments in the comment section. If you have any thoughts on the characters or the storylines or anything that I discuss, feel free to put it in the comment section. And on that note, let's jump right into the review. Now, last episode, we happened to meet Preston's, aka Mr. Rodeo's, two brothers. They decided to pay a visit to Danny at her place of employment to offer her a little bit of advice. Or should I say, some threats. But was Danny moved by it? Was she scared? Was she afraid? Hell no. Sister girl was unmoved instead of unhinged. Now, she did also sort of threaten them as well. Or should I say, warn them to leave her job before she went from Danny to Dan Shanique Washay. Up all through that airport. Daddy had me cracking up. I think if they would have called her one too many more black bitches, I think Danny would have came out those high heels, took off that suit jacket coat, and she would have wore they bus out in the middle of that lobby. But anywho, it didn't come to that point. But even Zach had her back. He wasn't about that shit either. He was like on ready, set, go. Those racist boys, they don't want it. They really don't want it. But then again, while Zach was going back and forth with those fools, Danny, she done jumped on Zach's cart. I don't know what they call those things that they drive around in the airport. I think they sometimes use them to like help transport luggages, or I don't know, maybe just to get from one end of the airport, quicker. But anyway, she jumped in his little cart, ran clean right into those jokers, knocked them off their feet. They was like, you hit us, you ran us over, you did that on purpose. But could you believe what Preston's brothers were saying about Danny? When they was telling her how she met their brother on a bet. Evidently, the brothers all made a bet that Preston couldn't get with a black girl. And if that is in fact true, that is very messed up. That is so messed up on the highest level. That would actually hurt my feelings. And I'm sure Danny's feelings was hurt, even though she was trying to hide it and trying to ignore, the good old boys or whatever. But still, I'm like, dang, is that true? Preston? Is that how this relationship came about? I really want to know. I really need to know. So I cannot wait till she has a chance to ask him about that. But anyway, Zach he's still pissed off at Karen for just dumping the rest of his belongings, including some items from his grandfather on the tarmac. Now, after Karen cursed him out last episode, slapped the taste out of his mouth, when he went to pick up his things that she just threw outside the plane, they were missing. Therefore, he thought, my belongings is gone. My girl, well, ex girl, she doesn't believe me. She thinks I'm a thief. And then all my belongings, including my grandfather's precious things, are gone for good. That's what he was thinking. And if it wasn't for Danny looking out for him and looking through the lost and found, he probably would have never, ever found his stuff. But good looking out, Danny. Danny comes through again. Danny always come through. She gets the most shade, but she also always comes through for her friends. But then after Danny, got the box, retrieved the box from the lost and found, she asked him, "Did you use Karen's credit cards?" Inquiring minds want to know. She's asking for a friend. Like, did you really use Karen's credit card? And he still denies it. He's sticking to his guns. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. But Danny, she had to ask. That's her home girl, even though they're obviously good friends. They work together. She has his bag. He has her bag. She even allows him to live with her when he's homeless. So, but still, being that Karen is her good Judy, her girlfriend, she had to ask him. She was just trying to figure out, like, how all of a sudden Zach is able to drive around in a nice company truck. Like, what company is he affiliated with? Because as far as everybody knows, he still works at the airport and he still does not make a lot of money. Now, we've been knowing that since the beginning of season 1. But why he's been keeping it a secret, I assume is because he wants to finish out this program. Because even if he doesn't get back with Karen, he wants to succeed at something, because that's something that Karen always, he's basically a failure. That's how Karen looks at him. Like, he don't have no money, he ain't got no car, he ain't got no bank account, you know what I'm saying? So she looks at him as a failure, like he's not good enough for her. So I think just in case he doesn't complete the program, he doesn't want Karen to, have something else to throw up in his face that he couldn't accomplish. But, on a second note, I do think it's really cool how, again, Danny has a lot of faith in him. She really wants him to succeed, and she's still, like I said, allowing him to live with her. But if that was you, if you were Karen, how would you feel if your homegirl was doing all that for your ex-boyfriend? And vice versa with the males. How would you feel if your homeboy was doing a lot of things for your ex-girlfriend? So y'all let me know that in the comment section. But moving on to Maurice and Sabrina. Now, Jacoby, he's passed his throat test. And Calvin is clean as well. Like, look at that. Did you guys think that Calvin was going to pass the test? Especially after those rumors of him allegedly using those drugs. I'm sure Sabrina, she did not believe that he was going to pass that test. And I kind of sort of didn't believe he would pass it either. But what she does believe is that Maurice is indeed interested in Jacoby. Now, y'all remember I said that last week. I was like, why is Maurice treating him so badly all the time? Like, I can see when he first started and he thought how Jacoby might be, trying to take over his spot or whatnot, but he still treats him very badly. So I said last week, I think it's kind of like, in school when you really, like somebody, but you pretend like you hate them. So you're always picking on them, teasing them, pushing them off the swing set. Things like that. But in fact, he really is interested in him. So Sabrina, she feels that way as well. Like, he might have a little schoolboy crush on little Jacoby. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. But then again, also Maurice, he's also under the impression that Sabrina is the one who's interested in Jacoby. What do y'all think? I mean, she was kind of like checking out his package when Maurice, fooled her, telling her that Jacoby needs to pull up his zipper. Like, where? He need to pull up what? She was really trying to get a peek at his jump. See what he working with. And on top of that, in regard to Calvin, she did tell Maurice that she thinks she needs a man with a little bit more street in him. She needs a man that is a little rough around the edges, a little roughneck, not too far ghetto or ratchet or too hood or gangster. Just somebody with who's a little rough around the edges, and I feel her on that. You know, I like a man with some swag. I like a man, who's where I'm from, from the streets, not saying, like I said, too gangster, too, ghetto, but a little rough around the edges. But Sabrina actually stated, what she actually stated was that she believes that she might be a little more compatible with a man such as Jacoby. So, my question for y'all is, do y'all think they're both interested in Jacoby? I don't know. I don't know what to think. I kind of think Maurice is. I don't know so much about Sabrina if she really is interested as much as Maurice is. But can you imagine the two of them both be interested in the same guy and what kind of cat fights they would have, trying to show each other up? That would be too funny. That'd be too funny. But yes, please let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving right along, Fatima finally finds out why Zach really made the decision to bounce from out of her spot. Now, upon confronting Hayden, she found out that he had basically warned Zach to stay away from her. Reason being is because Zach has been locked up in the past. And although he's down for helping out ex-cons and all that, he don't think that it's safe for her to be dating one. Ain't that kind of like messed up? Like, he assumes that Zach is, because he's an ex-con, he's not only not safe, but also a con man or a con artist. And Fatima don't need that in her life. But me personally, I think Hayden is just jealous. I think he is just jealous. He is sore. He is bent out of shape about, the fact that she doesn't want to be involved with him anymore. So Fatima let have on that man. She was like, who the hell are you to tell me who is good for me or who is not good for me? She was like, I will date and see anybody I want to see and whenever I want to see them. Man, Hayden was like, oh, is that right? But yeah, I think he's jealous, y'all. Y'all let me know if y'all also agree that if he's jealous. I mean, he was just like, look at me. Look at Zach. Like, him, me, him. Basically telling her, what the hell do you see in him that I don't have? Maybe it's the same as Sabrina. She wants somebody a little rough around the edges. That's what I think. I don't know. I think men like that are kind of sexy, really sexy. But anyway, kudos to Fatima, for making it clear to him. She standing up for herself, first of all, put him in his check like, okay, we work together. That's where it is. That's where it is. You don't need to be all up in my ish, and I ain't gonna be up all up in yours. But she basically told him when it comes to black men, any other black men who are locked up, any black man who gets pulled over, arrested, shot, beat, whatever, by cops, could have been him. And that's true. That's true. A lot of these guys out here talk about men who locked up and they must have did, they must have. Everybody in jail ain't in jail because they did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? But after letting him have it, she was summoned into Andy's office, and just look at who was trying to give somebody some relationship advice. Girl, I was like, Andy, how the hell you gonna warn her about dating a coworker when you was dating a whole married man? But also I was still wondering at the same time, when the heck are the ladies, the other ladies, going to find out that the man that Fatima was messing around with is none other than Karen's ex? And then my next question, how would that affect Andy and Fatima's relationship, being that Andy is, of course, best friends with Karen? I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know. Let me know. And again, I mean, and also, how do y'all feel about the phone call that Fatima made to Zach? Like, while he was hard at work, at the program where he works, for the ex cons, Fatima called to tell him that the situation is handled. However, Zach, he ain't had no idea. He ain't had no clue to what she was referring to, what she was talking about. He was like, "Come again, sis. Come again." But she didn't want to tell him over the phone. She was like, "You're not going to find out until you meet up with me for dinner tonight." Man, that Fatima, she just won't take no for an answer. And I can see it right now. Her waiting his arrival in some sexy lingerie, some stilettos, steak and shrimp, and lobsters, potatoes, on the table, candles everywhere. And to top it off, a whole bubble bath just waiting for Zach. I mean, do y'all really think she wants a relationship with him? Like, for real, for real? Because I kind of think that she's really feeling him. Really feeling him. But again, how will that work out with her and Andy's relationship once the ladies find out that she has something going on with Zach? Y'all let me know about that. And speaking of relationships, no sooner than Fatima walks out of Andy's office, oh, Paris, oh, Paris, he struts in with his sexy bald headed self. Paris had just happened to stop by in hopes of taking Andy out for dinner, but because of prior plans with her girlfriend, she has to take a rain check. Nevertheless, that's all good with Paris, so long as Andy promises to call him whenever. Whenever she's clear and sober, not just when she's drunk, not just when she's horny, not just when she's angry, but whenever she's clear and sober, because as he states, he wants to get to know the real Andy. So I'm like, hey, all right, all right. I mean, I really think that he's sincere. He seems like a good guy, possibly a good candidate for her. But how do y'all feel about Paris? Let me know how y'all feel about Paris. But as far as Andy, later on, she met up with the ladies, at Sabrina's crib, her homegirls, and they were sitting around, doing their usual girl chat, having a girls' night or whatever. And Karen was there, still raging about Zach using her credit cards without her permission. Although the other ladies all agree that Zach wouldn't do anything like that. That don't sound like something that he would do. But Karen is not so convinced, talking about, I still think he did it. She was like, I still think he did it. I don't give a damn what y'all say. So how do y'all feel? Do y'all still feel like I feel? Like it could have possibly been her current man, Aaron, that stole from her? You know, I still believe he might be the one who did it, but that's just me. I mean, it could be some random person. It could be a telemarketer. It could be somebody at the gas station who swiped their number. I mean, we don't know, but I think it might fall back on Aaron. That's just me, because I still feel like I've always said from the very beginning that something about him just ain't right. Something just don't sit well with me when it comes to that Aaron. But again, that's just me. But everybody else, they seem to agree with me. They all seem to be on team Zach. That's their homegirl and everything. But the ladies, all besides Karen, they were all cheering him on, giving him praises for being, part of that program. But despite Zach being involved in something, that could help the ex-cons, get into legitimate, real estate opportunities, Karen was unimpressed. She's not impressed at all. She is so done with Zach. At least that's how it appears. But I still think deep down somewhere, she still loves that man. I really do. I really feel like she does love him and that he loves her as well. But on the flip side, I'm sure she hates just how her girls don't see things her way, and seem to be taking up for Zach, or like I said, cheering him on, giving him praises. They act like they all proud of him, proud for what he's doing, trying to turn his life around or whatnot. But of course, I can see how Karen feels that way about her homegirls. But anyway, after they finish discussing Zach, Danny switches the subject over to Gary. She wants to know, has Andy been in contact with Gary, or have Gary been trying to reach out to her? And Andy reveals to the ladies that although he has been calling her like all day, blowing up her phone, she has been constantly ignoring him. And as hard as that might be, because of course, she still loves him, she's been sending him right to voicemail. But how long will that last? How long do y'all think that she can hold out from Gary? Y'all let me know. But then, after being in the hot seat for a little bit, she was like, I ain't trying to discuss this. Can we switch the topic again? And Danny, she didn't want to be in the hot seat either. I mean, they was really going in on Danny's relationship because of the fact of Preston. Like, Karen was like, while y'all talking about Danny ain't interested in nothing else but her country boy, her countryman, she need to be more interested in his racist brothers. And Preston's brothers. I don't think Danny wanted that to get out, at least not at that moment. I don't know if she would have even brought it up, period, if it hadn't been for Karen, throwing the subject on the table. But Sabrina mentioned that the only thing on Danny's mind is her country boyfriend. And Karen was like, she need to be thinking about those racist brothers. But then Danny had me cracking up because then she was upset with her and Sabrina. So she started talking about Sabrina's ex-man, Calvin. She was like, you just telling all my business because I was short with your little penny man of yours at the hospital with the twinkle toes. I almost forgot about that, y'all. Remember when they was at the hospital? Oh my God. Ooh, let me get a sip of water. That was too funny. Y'all remember when they was at the hospital and Calvin's father's husband was, passing away or dying. And he came through there running like hoo, 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 hoo. And he was crying and his hands was like this. And that's when Danny started calling him Twinkle Toes. I had almost forgot all about that. But yeah, she was cracking. She was that was too funny. But Danny finally let the others in on how Preston's brother had threatened her, told her to stay away from him. She also told him how they had cussed her out, called her a bag of black bitches, and also how she only came about on the heels of a bet. And I'm still wondering, is the part about the bet true? Do y'all think that's true? I mean, at the time, Preston still had not reached out at her. At that time when she was still kicking it with her homegirls, he hadn't reached out to her. He hasn't been responding to her, leaving messages, calling him, text messages, none of that. And he did previously inform her that his family is racist. So could the bet be real? And if the bet is real, excuse me, if the bet is real, do y'all believe that he truly has feelings for Danny? And is dating him really worth all that drama for Danny? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Because I'm sure all those thoughts were running through Danny's mind, especially when she came home and found him sitting on the floor by her apartment door with a black eye. I was like, "Po child, what did happen?" It took me back to the have and the have nots when Justin kept getting beat up by his brother who hated the fact that Justin was gay. And so he would always pick on him and whoop on him. I mean, Justin had black eyes and everything. So that took me back to that other TV show of Tyler Perry's. And so y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if y'all think the bet part was true, and if y'all think that Preston really, really has feelings for Danny. Let me know, y'all. Make sure you leave your comment in the comment section below the video. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed, and check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Stereo, and thehoodtable.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back a little bit later to discuss another subject. So make sure if you excuse me, I got the hiccups. Make sure if you guys are subscribed to the channel, make sure you have the notification bell hit so that you receive the notifications every time I go live. Because again, I will be going live in a little bit later from now. So anyway, on that note, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant as usual, and don't forget to keep it hood. Bye.